Good afternoon. Today is May 7th, 2020, and today's lesson, students will be able to identify and convert customary units of measure by completing a formative assessment. So we've been talking this week about the customary units of measure. The customary system is used in the United States and two other countries for measurement. All the other countries in the world use the metric system because it's just one system for conversions, but with the customary system, there's separate conversions for weight, length, and liquids. We've talked previously about length and liquids. Today we're focusing on weight, but we will review all of them. So mass is to see how much something weighs, how much stuff is in something. We have pound, ton, and ounce. And so we see our weight conversion. 1 pound, or the abbreviation is LB, is equal to 16 ounces. The abbreviation is OZ. 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. This is our STAR reference sheet, which you should be familiar with. We use it in class. You'll see this on every STAR test that you take. It has all the conversions for you right here, customary and metric. We'll focus on the metric next week. It also has a time conversion on here. So one way to think about pounds, ounces, and tons, one slice of bread weighs about an ounce. 1 pound is about a loaf of bread, and 1 ton is the actual bread truck itself. So that kind of gives you a visual of how much each piece weighs, or what is equivalent to it, things that you would see. We also talked about the capacity, which means how much something can hold, what a cup is. A fluid ounce is a little bit smaller. We have a pint, a quart, and then a gallon. This is a small can of paint. This is like the ice cream that you would see. It's a little container that, like, if you were going to the gas station, you get like a little pint of Bluebell ice cream or something like that. And then a lot of times you think of a cup like a measuring cup. When you're cooking, you use cups a lot more. Customary units of length, we have inches, a foot, yard, and mile. Think about an inch is about the width of a quarter, or from the tip of your thumb to that first joint, that's about an inch. A foot is, think of a measuring, a ruler. A yard is about the width of a door, And then a mile takes about 20 minutes to walk. So miles we use when we're measuring longer distances, like how far it is from your school to your house, or how far it is from Fort Worth to Dallas, things like that. When you're driving, you would think of miles. When you think of yards, you think about a football field. Inches used to measure smaller things. And feet, you would measure your height in feet and inches. So I have put a reference sheet just with the customary system here, so you can kind of have a visual to help us answer these questions. This is just true or false. Is 60 inches equal to 4 feet? Well, I will come right over here. I'm looking at length. So for every 1 foot is 12 inches. So if I have 4 feet, I'll need to think about that as 4 feet times how many inches is in 1? 12. Well, 4 times 12, we know, is 48. So 60 inches is not equal to 4 feet. So my answer is false. All right. Is 300 feet equal to 100 yards? So then again, I would come over here and look at my reference sheet. Now I'm going from yards to feet. So for every 1 yard is 3 feet. So if I have 100 yards, it means I'm just going to multiply that times 3. So it's 3 times 100, 300. It is. So this answer right here is true. That is a fact. And if I came here, a paint can holds about 5 gallons. Well, remember that I said a paint can holds about 1 gallon. So this one would be false. Moving on. 2 yards is equal to 6 feet. Well, let's see. for every 1 yard is 3 feet. So if I had 2 yards, that would be 6 feet. That is true. A mustard packet contains about 2 quarts. Well, we know that a quart, let's see, there's 4 quarts in a gallon, so could there be 2 quarts in a little mustard packet? That's not reasonable. So that answer is false. And the height of a Ferris wheel is about 15 inches. Well, think about if you go to the fair, or if you go to a carnival, that Ferris wheel is huge. So with 15 inches, when I think about inches, 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So no, that's not reasonable at all. All right. Let's look right over here. We're going to look at each elephant weighs a ton. Well, how much is a ton? Oh, a ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. There are 2 elephants in the zoo exhibit. What is the weight of both elephants? So if I want to know the weight of both elephants, I need to say 2,000 pounds, because I'm looking for it in pounds, times how many elephants, times 2. So that would give me 4,000 pounds. See how easy it is when you have your reference sheet right here? The baby girl weighs 8 pounds and 2 ounces. How many total ounces does the baby girl weigh? Well, how many ounces are in 1 pound? There's 16 ounces in 1 pound. So if I have 8 of those, 8 pounds, I need to multiply that times 16. Well, 6 times 8 is 48. Get my 4. And then 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 more is 12. That's 128. That's just a pound, so you can't forget that you have these 2 ounces right here. So I need to add those 2 ounces. And that leaves me with 130 ounces. And we'll finish up these. How many miles? There's 2 miles. How many yards is it? So I'm going to look right here. Well, there's 1,760 yards in 1 mile. I have 2. I'm just going to multiply that times 2. 0. 12. Regroup my 1. 14 plus 1 more is 15. And regroup that is 3,520. 8 yards, how many feet? So I'll come here again. Well, I have 8 yards and I have 3 feet, so I'm just going to take 8 times 3 feet. It gives me 24. And 9 feet, how many inches in 9 feet? Well, there's 1 foot for every 12 inches. So if I have 9 feet, I just need to multiply that times 12. And that gives me 18. Regroup my 108. Use your reference sheet. It will help you. Now, if I was going from all right, now let's say I was going from yards and I want to know how many. All right, let's say I was going from feet and I want to know how many yards it is. Well, I'm going from 48 feet to how many yards? For every 3 feet, there's 1 yard. So I would just need to divide 48 by 3. Well, how many times can 3 go into 4? 1 time, 3, and 1, and then I bring down. So I accidentally put 18. It should be, excuse me, this is 16. 48 feet is equal to 16 yards. So make sure that when you do that, you put the right number. Be like me. So for 48 feet is equal to 16 yards.